Welcome back to Look News. Joining us now, Paul Pines from the Lake George Jazz Weekend. Welcome to the show.
David, thank you for having me.
Thank you for stopping by. This is a big year for the Lake George Jazz Weekend, the 30th year doing it.
It's the 30th annual. I'm told that the anniversary comes next year.
Okay.
But this is the 30th annual jazz festival, and to stay alive for 30 years.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
You've been booking this for all that time.
I have.
Yeah. Did you ever think you'd get to this point?
No, I originally booked it thinking I would be up here for 6 months, and I was up here on a residency, a writer's residency, and I thought I was going. And then I met my wife, and 30 years later,
You're still here.
still doing it.
Still doing it. How does this festival compare to years past? Is there a comparison?
Well, you know, this is a celebration. And we've had a little more budget, so I could do a little more generous offerings. But I've always tried to have the festival include a range of musicians, cutting-edge musicians, wonderful energy, not necessarily household words, but some under-the-radar real heroes in jazz. And this is no exception. We have them.
Yeah, give me some of the highlights, some of these some of these artists that perhaps you don't know or you have heard of, but that, the cross-section of jazz artists.
Well, Downbeat, which is the magazine of record for jazz, calls Michelle Rosewoman the under-the-radar hero of American music. Okay, she's not a household word, but she's been at it a long time, and certainly everybody in the jazz world knows her. And she is releasing a CD at our festival, has a 30th anniversary of a project she's been working on for 30 years, the New Yoruba, which combines African jazz and Caribbean music. She's a wonderful composer. Christian Howes, wonderful violinist. He's up with a group that draws on Argentine tango and jazz and has an accordion. Richard Galliano, wonderful. These are kind of under-the-radar guys. Ben Williams is the bass player, and he is known amongst people in the industry as the up-and-coming, really, well, he was selected as Rising Star by Downbeat this year. So these are the new energy. These are the people that are coming up or getting exposure.
And this is a great opportunity if you're an old hat to jazz,
right,
or you're really just getting into this genre of music. This is a great way to really expose yourself to it.
Well, yeah, for me, I've booked it to demonstrate kind of the range of the music, from the kind of straight ahead, more accessible, to the slightly avant-garde. But I view it as an educational experience. I want to build the jazz audience. I want to keep the jazz audience. And the festival has been very successful at doing that.
The festival is this Saturday and Sunday. You can't ask for a better venue.
It is perhaps, for me, when I first saw it, what attracted me to even doing this was the magic of the venue. Jazz on a summer's day, jazz on an autumn day, out overlooking the lake, surrounded by mountains, on a sloping hill, with a wonderful little amphitheater at the middle. It's exquisite, and people come and they spend the day. They bring a picnic, they sit there, they bring families, the kids have a little park to play in. It's a family as well as an individual destination.
How important is this festival for our local arts scene?
Well, I think this festival is important for our cultural arts scene in general. Festivals like ours, and particularly ours, brings a level of this music and exposure to an area which really has not very much of it, and allows, again, over the 30 years, I've had audience members who have been coming since they were 5 and 6 and 7 years old and are now 35, say to me, this has been a very important part of my life. And the accumulated exposure over the 30 years, I think, has created an expectation and a sense of what this area can present. That's really unique.
It's a great opportunity, if you haven't been before, to start a new family tradition and bring the family out.
Bring the whole family and kids. The kids who are exposed to this music young grow up hearing something they wouldn't normally hear, and many of them become very, very involved with this music.
All right, well, Paul Pines, we appreciate you stopping by. We wish you the best of luck with the 30th annual Lake George Jazz Weekend.
Thank you so much, David.
Thanks so much for stopping by. Now, to find out more about the Lake George Jazz Weekend, see the full schedule and get all the details on this free event, head to the website. It's looktvonline.com.